In this country today faced a lot of life-altering challenges. In the fall of '99, I faced similar challenges of my own when I said goodbye to my family, not knowing when I'd see them again, and with one suitcase, $75 in my purse, and a 6-month visa, I boarded a plane for the first time and left my homeland of Belize. I thought, as I was on that flight, that once I landed in this country, all my problems would magically disappear. They didn't. Whenever anyone would ask me, "Where are you from?" After I would tell them Belize, one of the first things that they would usually say is, "What brought you to this country?" It was a simple question, but all I heard was, what pushed you away from your homeland and made you want to move somewhere else and start a new life? Well, I wasn't about to tell strangers the real reason. Sometimes we avoid the most obvious and complicated events that happen to us, events that inform our entire life story. So I would skirt around the question. I would say things like, "Oh, I just wanted to try something different. I just wanted to see what it's like to live in another country." But the reality was, I wasn't here looking for new scenery. I was essentially in survival mode. I was running for my life. I had been exposed to a series of traumatic events that I knew if I had stayed there would have left me more broken than I already was. So I got on that plane, and my first challenge was when I got to Miami International Airport, and I saw an escalator. I had never been on an escalator before. And I stood there, and I watched everyone getting on it. And I said, "Take your time, don't go tumbling down this thing, but you gotta get to your gate." So I watched everyone getting on, and I got on the escalator myself. Once I got to Baltimore, I spent the next few months depressed and lonely, sad, afraid I would be deported because my 6-month visa was coming to an end and I hadn't been approved for a green card yet. And I thought, oh God, if I have to get sent back, how embarrassed I'd be. And I had a brother who had been deported before, and it wasn't nice. And I thought I'd either get sent back or I'd have to live here undocumented. And undocumented immigrants face way more challenges than the ones who are here legally. I was fortunate enough to get my green card within a year. And with it brought even more new struggles. I struggled to find a balance between the old and the new. I got a driver's license, I got a great job, got my first car, got my first apartment. I did all the things that I thought made me American, all the things that I thought I had to do in order to fit into this society. But I still wasn't happy. I was losing myself. I didn't know how to keep my traditions and my culture alive because I thought I had to be American. I had to sound American. I had to dress American. I would be by myself and practice speaking because I didn't want to have an accent. I didn't want to stand out. I want people to know where I'm from. So I would be in the mirror practice. I was like, oh God, I have to try to sound real American. And when we were little in Belize, we would have games where we would play and we would practice to be American. And we would sit around and talk to each other in American and thought it was the most wonderful thing. So that's what I did. I immersed myself in the American culture, and even I would call home sometimes and my mother would be like, "Talk Creole." "Why are you talking American?" You know, and she thought I was forgetting who I am. She thought I was forgetting about them, about their culture, and I didn't know how to do it. And The moment that changed, I was working a flight, and this Indian family boarded the plane. Grandma, mom, dad, 2 small kids, and grandma was dressed fully in her Indian attire, and they were happy, and I thought, wow, how can they still maintain all that culture and tradition living in America? I thought, couldn't do that. And that's when I made up my mind that once I had kids of my own, I wanted them to know all about who their mother was, where she came from, the things she did. I immersed them in my culture. I told them stories after stories. I cooked Belizean food at home. I just did everything that I did growing up because I wanted them to experience it. And the moment I knew I was doing something right, a cousin of mine told me one day, she's like, Racquel, I am so proud of you that you started introducing your kids to your culture from such a young age. She said, I never did that with mine. My kids grew up Americanized. I never told them about my history, my culture. I never cooked those kind of foods for them. So much so that when I took them to Belize for the first time as early teenagers, she said they were miserable. They complained about the heat. They complained about the living conditions. They didn't like the food. They said there were no malls for them to go to. She said she was embarrassed, but she blamed herself because she never introduced them to that kind of, the culture. And she said, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you found a balance. And I'm so glad I did. I told myself, Racquel, being an immigrant in this country doesn't mean you have to lose yourself. It doesn't mean you forget where you came from. It just means you're adding to this country. I am grateful for the people that I have met here, the experiences that I've had, the opportunities that I've been given. But I also remember where I came from. Belize built me. America has just enhanced and continue to make me into the woman that I am today.